210 days of consolidation here. I think the breakout is 70, 80% in play in the short term. I think it's getting ready to happen. You all know I don't sit here doing my technical analysis videos to predict anything. I track these charts so that we can sit here and anticipate what are targets to the upside, what are targets to the downside, and we can just be ready for volatility in general, because that's what crypto is. So I don't sit here a lot and do predictions, but in this video, I actually do want to lay out why I think we're going to get the breakout to the upside. And I realize I'm putting kind of my reputation on the line, especially in the short term. I could be wrong, and I know that. I realize that. But I do want to just kind of give you a sense of what I'm watching for this to happen. The bullish confirmation that could happen this week in a matter of days. It could really start happening today. So please hit the subscribe, hit the like. Let's just jump right into the Bitcoin analysis. We've been tracking this pattern. Everybody in the industry has been tracking this pattern. And here we are. And we're kind of like, do something. Let me explain why I think this is going to happen. I just saw this post. Bitcoin breakout around the corner. BTC is gearing up for a move higher soon. And you can see here, he has the breakout happening as well. And I just want to say, I agree with this post. So let me break it down. I'm going to start on the weekly, and then we're going to look at the very short term. I'm talking about zoomed in on the daily to get an idea of the short-term bullish confirmation that I'm waiting to see if it happens to get this move. So on the weekly, as you all know, we've been tracking the pattern, the structure, all of that good stuff that is right there. And I want to point out in this post, he has the MACD circled, this bullish indicator down here, the momentum oscillator. Want to point that out. That is 100% looking like we're getting that upward momentum, right? This histogram approaching zero, not yet turned green. This MACD getting ready to potentially cross above that red line on the signal, or that red signal line on the oscillator. Here's the deal. You go to a daily chart, right? So keep that in mind, what's happening on that weekly chart. You go to a daily chart, and we've been discussing very much the similarities of Bitcoin right now compared to Bitcoin back here in October after a lot of consolidation, breakout to the upside. I want to point out on the daily MACD, because right now you can look at a MACD on the daily chart and be like, I mean, it's trending down and you still got to go all the way down here and really consolidate if you can. I'm covering my chart, but it's really got to consolidate all the way down here before making the move to upside. I want to point out when the breakout happens, we're going to see the MACD likely in an environment like we saw back here in the October breakout. And that is to say, yeah, we get all the way up here, like overbought on the MACD, consolidation, but it hangs out up there, right, through the move. And you can even see this histogram went red and then it went back green. So that move, just because we're getting consolidation right here per se, right, it doesn't mean, if you look at what happened with Bitcoin, it doesn't mean Bitcoin stopped going up, right? So I just want to point that out from a momentum perspective. The RSI on the same daily chart, just looking like it's trending up, awesome momentum on the RSI. And then it's the daily chart, the price action of Bitcoin right now, after months of consolidation, all of this sideways. We got the breakout that we've talked about. This lower high breakout, we've gotten the breakout. We're getting current support at that yellow line, the moving average line on the RSI. There's so many things happening, but on the daily chart, here's what I'm watching for that short-term confirmation. And this is where I could be very wrong. Let me just say that. I realize that. But I just want to put this out there. Like I always play it safe by anticipating upside and downside. And even right now I do, right? We know it can fall. But sometimes I do sit here and I think what's going to happen, right? I don't really say it often, but in this moment, I do want to say it. Bitcoin right now got this move to the 200-day moving average in red, and it got actually rejected, and it's rejected. It's rejected even at the 20-day in green. But we have seen support at the 50-day in blue. So right now, what Bitcoin is doing is incredibly important for that bullish confirmation or even the bearish confirmation. But the bullish confirmation is as it trades within not only the moving averages, we're in this very small margin, it's also this Fibonacci here. So the Fibonacci, the lower high Fibonacci, is something we discussed, I believe, in yesterday's video, acting as potential resistance, which it has. You can see that green channel, that lower high resistance. Look at that wick. That's short-term failure for Bitcoin. And so we have that entire range also acting as a bullish confirmation area. So that range, just to give you an idea, around $65,000 to around 64. If Bitcoin breaks above that area, that's a bullish confirmation for me. But not even that. If Bitcoin manages to break above the 20 and the 200, for me, that is some bullish confirmation. And we've been talking about this very short-term move. We've been talking about it and discussing it even on the 6 hour. As you know, talking about how Bitcoin was just previously oversold. I've been discussing this a lot. I'm not trying to repeat myself, but oversold on this 6 hour. Historically, especially in this consolidation for Bitcoin, that has been a moment where Bitcoin makes a nice move to the upside. What's intriguing and bullish for me, as that was happening this time, Bitcoin's all the way up here. We're not testing the lower trend line. Bitcoin's all the way up here. The move to the upside is so in play right now, and there's so much room for Bitcoin to make the move now. And so if I go switch from the 6 hour back to the daily chart, you can see potentially what it looks like, right? I put like a bars pattern here just to give us a little bit of an idea of what the move could look like. We have, if we go back, we can look at a couple different things, but if I remove that bars pattern to speculate on what's going on here, we can go and we can look at this move all the way back in October, rejection at the 200, the throwback to the 50, right? Looking bad, everything's looking bad. And then Bitcoin makes the move through those moving averages once again. So we can take kind of a bars pattern from that time, from rejection off the 200 to the breakout, and we can like just move it over to right now, right? So there's that move back to the 50, that blue line, and this is the potential breakout. And I'm not saying it's happening exactly like this. It's going to happen right now, but this could be in the days ahead. And so that's the move I'm looking for. I'm looking for Bitcoin. If it breaks above this very short-term resistance, I think it's game on for the bulls. And we're looking at around, it's like a 1 to 2% move to get above those moving averages. And then to the Fibonacci, to break out of the Fibonacci, 4% move. This could happen in one candle on this chart. So if the bulls step in on the short term, and this weekly candle closes, and this is where things really come together. If the weekly candle closes above this 20-week moving average, you can see in green, and it's very iffy. I'm kind of like, it doesn't matter to me. If we break down, we break down. But I'm taking a little bit of a risk talking about this right now because this could happen like today. Like Bitcoin could just start falling today back below the 20. But what I am watching is, what does it close at? There's that 5 days, 9 hours left of the weekly candle. What does it close at? That's something I'm watching. And it all starts here on the short term. So the breakout to the upside, I have to say I agree with this post, is looking like it can happen very soon. And if this happens, notice where Bitcoin is. It's towards the upper trend line. We might get finally the breakout of the upper trend line of this over 200-day consolidation that Bitcoin has been in. So time will tell. I wanted to do this very simple technical analysis. And let me just say, I know there's going to be comments, and a lot of them will probably say, Dan, you're always wrong, things of that nature. As I do this video, I realize I could be wrong. I realize Bitcoin could break down. I'm anticipating that it may happen. And that's just my approach. I like to anticipate upside and downside, but I really wanted just to kind of put on the screen what I'm seeing right now, and we'll track it. We'll see. Either way, zoom out. The story is the same for me. Even if Bitcoin does fall, even if this doesn't play out in the short term, we have things to watch for, right? We have this longer term, lower trend line. Yeah, maybe Bitcoin falls back to it all the way down here. Let's discuss it. Let's discuss the really bearish scenario. Bitcoin's falling back to the lower trend line of this massive falling pattern, right? And then we're testing this lower trend line from the bear market low, and all of a sudden we're around $50,000, right? Breaking the 50-week moving average and testing all down here. Maybe it happens. But even if that happens, I'm just so long-term bullish on this chart and what is happening here. So I still think the cycle is just getting started, but let's anticipate everything. But I wanted to put those thoughts out there because I think it'll be fun just to track if Bitcoin can break above this resistance. I think it will be a really powerful move to the upper trend line and potentially beyond it, breaking it. So these are my thoughts today. Not much really going on in terms of price action other than just trading within the support and resistance areas. And that support right around 60,700. So Bitcoin in this scenario could keep falling a little bit. What happens at the 50? And then what happens towards the upper end of the Fibonacci around 65? So 65 to around $60,000 is a crucial area for Bitcoin. Who's going to win? The bulls or the bears? Time will tell. We'll see. Either way, all good. Appreciate you cruising through, everybody. Please hit the subscribe, hit the like, turn notifications on. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.